Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. My dogs are being menaces in the background for my mother. So if you hear my mom yell, it's because the dogs are ruining her life. Yeah, happy Godo Day. Well, I guess it's a day removed from Godo Day now, if you're hearing this.
Goto week. We are celebrating
Goto
all week.
week, yeah. I mean, and I tweeted this. It's funny because to cope, to cope with the idea that he probably wasn't going to win, I was bargaining. I mean, as you do. And I was like, man, he could lose the belt like next week. Like just give him the reign. Just give him the accolade, please. And now, after watching the Zack match and after thinking about the fact that Goto's the best wrestler in the company, I was just like, he should hold it forever. Like he should hold it until he retires. Um, which should be, a ways down the line because that's my fucking guy. That was my first favorite Japanese wrestler. Omega versus Goto changed my goddamn life in 2016. And yeah, so I was just I'm elated. I mean, one of the only male wrestlers that really just gets it to this day. I feel like he just really is he's on the ball, and I'm super happy that he finally won the big one. Also, one of the only male wrestlers I've cried about on the show. If you remember last year talking about his G1 run, I started to tear up a bit. Um, so yeah, shout out to Goto. It's great time to be alive. Love that guy.
You know, the funny part of Goto winning is it has given Joshi fans a lot of copium. And I've seen people go, Momo next. And I'm just like,
The
no,
Hearts, yeah, the fucking Momo and Hazuki that they're gonna
yeah,
be next.
no,
They aren't.
it's just not happening. But anyway, shouts out Goto.
Yeah.
Shouts out pro wrestling, honestly.
The G in Stardom Quest Gold stands for Goto. It's not cool.
Yeah. Okay. Head on over to the 5starnetwork.co for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as Actress Stage and other shows, go up, as well as No Limit Wrestling, your other show with Xavier. And that's the plugs. So let's dive right into the action. Marigold kicks us off because they ran last Thursday when they were in Shinjuku FACE. But before that, Marigold wrestlers outside of Marigold. Nanae Takahashi had herself a week. She defeated Chan in the main event of the PPP Tokyo Treasure and Party event. This went 17 minutes and it was raw as fuck. It was
When the
really, really
door to
good.
dreams open. That's the subtitle
Yeah,
on that show.
yeah, even
Great,
better.
great. Yeah. Yeah, that match was awesome. I loved it.
Very real, very raw. Like they were just going at it. She was not taking Chan
I would say
lightly.
that was also Chanyo's better performance of the two this past weekend, since
Yeah,
Chanyo is now you know, Mario
voted. Yeah,
adjacent, I guess you could say. I thought that was the better of the two, especially performance wise. It felt like you can really see why people have, including me, have been on the Chanyo to train and ready for her to
yeah, for
commit
sure.
more, because this sort of match is exactly what you get from her when she's really operating at a high level.
Very true. Then Nanai also teamed with Zones as they lost to Chihiro Hashimoto and Manami. This is on the Sendai Girls show on the 9th. This is up on Wrestle Universe, so if you have Marigold, you have access to this as well. This was another really good match. Everything involving Nanai and Chihiro was awesome, but I really enjoyed Nanai and Manami as well. I think Manami is just a perfect weirdo babyface to go up against Nanai. And I was
Yes.
like, please let them have a singles match or something, because that was really cool. But then, yeah,
Unfortunately, you're just gonna get a Chihiro one.
shame. And Nanai could be out of this match, and Nanai set up 2 singles matches because Chihiro challenged her, and then backstage she was like, "Hey, yo, Zones, let's fucking do it." So I imagine she is going to be on a Pro Wrestling Evolution show to face Zones as well at some point soon.
I
So
mean, yeah, Rossi did say every time he's been to any other company to like watch one of his wrestlers, he is bombarded with people begging to wrestle Nanai.
big
So
beast.
yeah, I imagine Zones and Suwama were the first ones up and asking if they can get that match. Understandably so. I think
Um,
that's a
yeah,
match that makes sense to run, especially because like I sometimes forget that until less than a year ago, Nanai was still fully in her freelance arc.
yeah,
And like her and Zones interacted a ton. Like they were around each other a ton during that time. So uh, it's a valid match to run. I would say like they should definitely.
I
Even if
agree.
I'm not a big Zones fan, it makes sense why you would want to run that back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends. If she beats Zones, you could set up a Chi-Chi match, but then they might not want Chi-Chi to lose at the
Yeah,
moment,
no, they're
so
not setting
it
up a
kind of
Chi Chi
depends.
match.
No, sadly not. But yeah, Nanai had herself a week, and it was fun. I
Mhm.
don't actually believe anybody else from Marigold did anything, and I can't remember when the Yuki anniversary show is. I know it's this month sometime, but I don't know for sure.
It's either in like
Did
2
you know?
days or like a week from now.
Yeah, because Utami and my Sakurai are both on that in the main event, and Dash replaced Ozaki, so it kind of got a little bit better to a
Hmm.
degree. No disrespect meant to Ozaki.
Oh yeah, it's this week. This week. It's 15th.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and there is no other Marigold wrestlers on there, right? There's no rookies. It's just Tommy and my Sakurai.
Uh, Correct.
There's a lot of dudes on it, so I don't think there was room. But yeah, we'll
There's
be
really
coming
not that
back
many
to
dudes.
Sendai Girls because
Wait, they're
they.
running fucking Hiroyo versus Shuji Ishikawa in a singles.
That's beast.
That's
Um,
absurd.
yeah,
And
we'll
Akito
come back.
Dick Togo. That is Xavi match. Well, actually, I don't know if Xavi cares for Akito,
Kido,
but but
DDT
Dick,
guy.
yeah, but Dick Togo
Oh,
in a singles is big moves.
very true. All right. Well, with that, it is time to get on to the review section. There could be a bit of news. I know Naho Yamada is injured, but I don't think there's a time frame on her exact return. Um, so I don't want to dive into that too much. There was definitely something else that I'm forgetting completely, but
This
it's
is
okay.
not it, but Koki said that her timetable is looking good for recovery. Um, she's doing well, and she
That's
said
good.
that everything's going according to what she was hoping for, which is great. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
So,
I she started a TikTok, well, not started one, but she announced a TikTok. I guess she started it a couple months ago. Um, that kind of showed some of her progress, some of her
hmm
PT, and even just her early stuff. It looks like it looks like 2 more months, 3 more months makes sense. Like it's not
okay.
unrealistic.
So we're definitely on track for a
Like
May
she's already
return.
doing like squats and she's doing more, she's kind of getting into, you know, more physically demanding things
Wow.
pretty quickly.
Okay. She's in better shape than Amisore, who had a lesser seemingly injury, but
Well,
seems
no,
to have
she
really done a
Ami
number of
Sourei
herself.
didn't she tear her ACL and MCL?
I can't remember because I thought ACL was a mistranslation at one point in hers, and it was just MCL. But I honestly, I'm
I
not
also
sure.
think she worked on it. I think she
Probably, yeah,
partially tore it and then kept working on it and then got fucked up way worse.
yeah, that's
But
valid.
yeah,
Um,
I don't really
all right.
remember.
Yeah, I don't think there was actually any other news. I think I'm just tricking myself there. It'd be nice if Marigold had a website where like they could post stuff like that, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I have one show to review. It was Marigold New Year Golden Garden Day 7. This was in Shinjuku FACE. They did 356 fans, which is down from the last two times they ran there. Just a small bit more actually than the PPP Tokyo show. So iffy. In the opener, now Ishikawa beat Ryoko Sakamura in just under 8 minutes. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very good. Ryoko gets better with her strikes basically every time I see her, and I think now Ishikawa now is at the point where she is just a reliable, very solid wrestler. Because I thought she was pretty good at leading this.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was kind of down on this match. I felt that was a bit I don't know. I think now is interesting because I don't think I see her in that way. I think that she still is somebody that to really get something out of her, like you need to put her against somebody cool.
Mm,
And I didn't really think particularly highly of this one. Uh, though I didn't think either of them did poorly. It just didn't really click for me, I guess. Um, yeah, it was all right. Like I don't know. I think I'm lower on both of them than you are. Uh,
yeah, well,
despite
I'm
liking them
like leader
both.
of the Ryoko train.
Exactly, exactly. And now is somebody who I think is like always a rise to the occasion type wrestler, but she isn't. For me, she's not a house show wrestler. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get much
I
from
don't
her house
consider
show
this a house
matches.
show because
Well,
it's in
okay,
Face. Feels like they're
she's
trying.
not a funnily enough, she's not an undercard wrestler.
Okay. Well, I would disagree. I thought she led this fairly well. I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah,
I lost the Utami
agree
promo.
or disagree.
I am going to absolutely tear my hair out. Anyway, our next match was Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki beating Rhea Seto and Riara in 8 minutes. I got about a few minutes into this and I said, "Oh, this is one of those Nagisa performances," and I skipped it because
Mm.
respect to the Queen and getting her bag, but she was not locked in.
I don't know. She got a bit more locked in down the stretch. I think you missed out on some fun Nozaki bits, but yeah, no, it wasn't anything insane. Um, I didn't really expect anything insane here, but I thought it was a serviceable match. You know how I am with Dark Wolf Army. I usually like them unless they're pretty actively uh not wanting to be there.
Yeah.
And this wasn't an instance of that. It was just like it was a pretty baseline match, maybe a little bit lower, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Okay.
Um, Riara's good. I think Rei
Yes.
Seto is fascinating still because I still feel like there's more here, but she doesn't really give me more. Uh, so I'm always left wanting more from her, and I
Hmm.
I don't even know if it's like a lack of ability because she's good. Like she's fundamentally a sound wrestler, but I feel like she's one of those where I'm just like, okay, you should be finding yourself more um, as a wrestler. I don't think
Yeah.
she has yet.
Yeah.
Like
I
I think
kind
Naho has found herself perfectly,
mhm.
and you would expect Rhea to have done that more successfully than Naho. But she just hasn't really. She hasn't really found her lane in terms of style at all. I feel like.
Yes. She's her whole thing is still that she wants to be in JoJo's, but that you cannot wrestle like you're in an anime. Um,
And I mean, you
that's not how
can,
that
but you
works.
have to commit to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to do more, like, a bit more. You have to be more exaggerated. She doesn't project enough to
No,
be a JoJo's character. You know what I
definitely
mean?
not.
And that's okay. If you just want to do the poses, that's fine. But you have to find something, and I don't
Mhm.
think she has yet. Despite her being a fundamentally sound wrestler, like I said, like I don't think that she's. I
That
haven't
might just
written
be
her
what she
off.
is. She's just a solid hand, which is there's nothing
Maybe.
wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, that was that match. Our next match was Mirai beating Megaton in just under 9 minutes. I enjoyed everything about this. I adore Megaton. I think it's
Mhm.
really she adds something so different to these shows. She's just really funny. She commits to the bit. The crowd is into it as well. Like they were really getting behind her. I think she's one of those really smart wrestlers who just stares at your preconceived notions of pro wrestling and goes "fuck those" and does her own thing. But like this was also a fun side of Mirai, like running around outside the ring and all that sort of stuff, which was kind of funny. So I got a lot out of this.
Yeah. For as much as so, obviously, a interview with um Todoroki, her real name, out of character, clearly. An interview with Todoroki was dropped. I forget by who. My bad. But basically talking about how she, like her tragic origin story of like her mom and dad passing away and her having to take care of her brother who lost his job and kind of you know found out in the hole. So it's like you read that and it's like Fuka, the minute that Fuka met her, she was like, you should try wrestling for real, and to do that you need to watch Viper. I think it is one really smart of Fuka to immediately see that and be like, oh, you should be like this, but also smart for Megaton to pivot and be Fuki in death instead. um I think that was just as smart of an idea as Fuka being like, "You should be like Viper," because yeah, I think she is just such a perfect uh, such a perfect baddie, like such a perfect just stooge and goon type of thing that you have these top wrestlers just really fucking with her, and it makes for really entertaining and fun matches. Um, that interview also kind of went into how the roster, she's like the roster's favorite wrestler, and I imagine that's why people like Mirai and people like Utami want singles matches with Megaton in Tokyo. Uh, is because they just kind of are rooting for her and they want her to do well, and she's just a very sweet and endearing person. Uh, in the opinions of the roster, so it's always nice to see her kind of get a shot. And I think her singles matches, honestly, are like her bread and butter because they're, you know, her versus Utami and her versus Mariah have both been really fun, entertaining, memorable matches. So I've been happy with that. And Mariah got to be just an asshole, which is Mariah's favorite thing to do. So tons of fun.
Yeah, that interview was nice.
Yes.
Yes. Um, I am really interested in Megaton. I feel like all the promos directed at her are kind of like, you kind of suck. You should get better. And I don't know if they're gonna do like she actually does get better and commit to the bit, or if they're just gonna keep telling her she sucks the entire
You
time.
know, obviously people have already been mad about the amount of belts in this company because they don't like the Superfly. First
Yes.
of all, fuck you. Love the Superfly. Just raise the just either raise the minimum or just like kind of quietly do away with it, which they kind of already are, considering it looks like Shiaki might be challenging. That's the point. I feel like Megaton is the perfect third in a artist
I was
championship
literally
You
going to
know
compare
what I
her to
mean?
the Natsu storyline
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Natsu
That's
kind of being
exactly
a
what I was gonna
loser
say.
and then finally getting the artist and being like, "This is everything I've ever wanted."
Yeah, so it's a bit hard because I don't know, like it's gonna take some work to get her to a twin star level. Not some work, but I think it's gonna I think the twin stars are such a competitive title, and they are going to be a competitive title from here on out. That
Mhm.
I don't know if they're gonna give her that shot, especially Rossi. Rossi's very particular about those sorts of things. Um, so it is a shame that they don't have like an artist belt, a trios belt, or anything like that, because she would be the perfect, orange belt carrier of the
Yeah,
of the tribe, or pink,
I agree. Mariah in her promo afterwards was like, "You're the manager for Bozilla. Well, give me Bozilla." And so it looks like they are going to wrestle. They haven't announced anything, but I'd imagine that's going to be added to the Korakuen later this month, presumably as a de facto number one
What do you
contenders
think about
match for.
Megaton lore?
Very into it.
Is she supposed to be a Beetlejuice?
I think she's just inspired by that because she's an actress, and maybe really likes the movies.
That's fair.
But
Beetlejuice
I
is a
think
good movie.
in reality, she's an alien.
Mm.
Yeah, I think she said that she was like arrested for stealing food on her alien
Oh
planet.
yeah, she's an alien
Yeah.
prisoner. That's what it was. That's
Yeah.
the lore. Yeah.
Yes. Alien prisoner. So that's the megaton lore. But more importantly, they said a Mirai versus Bozilla. So so
Yes.
yes.
Big
Not to
moves.
glaze over that, but yeah, it's probably a number one contenders match in, if not officially, then in spirit.
Mm.
But yeah. Speaking of the world champion, though, Utami Hayashishita beat Minami Yuki in 7 minutes. I enjoyed this. This is probably one of the stronger showings from Yuki. I think she looks a lot more solid every time I see her, and I think Tammy has definitely learned to work this style a little bit better because she does. She doesn't give the rookies too much anymore. She's not going 50-50 with them. She's just like, I'm going to beat you. And that's a lot
Yeah.
better.
I think Yuki Minami is an interesting case because she's not bad. Like I think I've officially arrived at the point that I don't think she's bad.
She
I think she's
was, but I don't think she is anymore.
no, I think she's bland. I don't think there's much there, but she's
Mhm.
a good enough seller to make matches like this work on a minimal
Yeah.
level. You know what I mean?
Her
Like
forearms
like
are okay too.
yeah, her
They're
forearms are
passable.
fine. That's what I mean. I think she's a passable wrestler who is solid at selling. So you put her against Nutami, a Bozilla, even a Nozaki, it looks good. Even if the
Mhm.
match isn't necessarily the most structurally sound, because she is still quite young and it isn't, she didn't, wrestling hasn't like fully clicked with her, but I think she's kind of willpowered her way into being a serviceable wrestler, which I always respect.
After the match, I think Tommy had some very interesting comments. She was like, "You're the rookie of the year. Are we sure this level is okay? Like, I'm really worried about the rookies in this company." Um, I'm very interested into what if that's going anywhere or if that's just her talking to talk. Is it? I feel like the Marigold could, with we're going to talk about obviously with the seeming formation of the Dark Wolf Army. I would love Utami to return to the roots of Queen Quest of just forming a group of perfectionists who are like, we're the best in this company. You
Mhm.
all suck. And I feel like this could be the first step in that direction of her going, the level in this company is not good enough. I need to make it good. But maybe she's just doing that because they're doing all these challenge matches on the upcoming house shows, which seems to just be rookies versus established wrestlers. So I don't know if they're just doing that to say it or if this is going somewhere. My hope is that it does go somewhere, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think it's a mix of both because, excuse me, I also saw a interview with Utami, um, that where she was kind of talking about like her goals, and she's like,
Mhm.
I'm champion, but like I think the more important thing is, uh, not even like she's like I want to defend my belt, but also most of the roster is very unexperienced.
Yeah.
And more than anything, I want to raise the level of every single individual in the company more than myself. So I think that might just be like a shoot thing that
Hmm.
she just legitimately is like, I need to drag everybody up, like forcefully. Um, I think this was just like an example of that. So I don't know if it will be like a story that they dive into, but like that is something that Utami's talked about a lot. Is just that she feels a responsibility to drag these wrestlers, these younger wrestlers, to become better. And I mean, we've seen that with Seri, right? She
Yeah.
immediately said, "I want to be, the Mayu Utani to Seri's Utami Hayashishita."
Yeah.
Um, which, to be fair, I think Mayu Iwatani could very easily become the Mayu Iwatani to Seri Yamaoka's. Oops, I digress. Um, but so I think that's just kind of what Utami's second year in Marigold is looking like. Is that she's like, okay, I kind of found my footing. I need to push everybody else. So we'll see if that becomes like a story or not. But I don't think that's inherently where it's heading.
I'm kind of disappointed in that because that feels like the only way to make Utami more interesting to me. Um, is to make her the perfectionist, because that's kind of what Queen's Quest was. They were like really easy antagonists because
Mhm.
they were like, we hate fun, we hate all of you cool people. We're the best of the best. We always
Problem
win.
is, Utami loves fun. Like I think that's she's like,
Not
oh, I can
on
have fun. This is
screen.
awesome.
Not on screen. Like her like pro wrestling character is very just like I am regal. I am
She
royalty.
has long said that in like interviews that she's like, I am nothing like my wrestling character. I am the most chill human being. Like I am a geek.
Yeah.
Like I just hang out. Uh but yeah, so I guess there's that dichotomy. I don't know. I'm interested in like the idea of factions in this company because I kind of
Mhm.
don't want them to happen, but I also recognize why they probably should for reasons like
Well,
that. You know what I mean?
I feel like if you're gonna have a Dark Wolf army, there's a natural babyface army to rise out of that, and then but not everybody can be in the babyface army, so you're gonna need another thing for people to grasp onto. And Utami
Yeah,
doing a Queen's Quest copy feels like
I
the
can I
most
can see
natural lane for her.
a three-headed monster in the company,
Yeah.
um, in terms of factions. I don't know. I think my problem with factions right now is how much I love uh the Twin Stars
Yes.
and what they can do with the Twin Star division. And I don't think they'll be able to do that anymore if they have rigid factions. Um, like, I don't know. I love the idea of Utami tagging with Koki and then tagging with Victoria Yuzuki, and then next month she can tag with. I mean, she shouldn't challenge again, but next month she could fucking tag with, uh, you know, Go Chica, and like
Yeah,
it would all
I
make sense. Like,
guess.
not like there's no problems there. Until this past weekend, I loved the idea that Mirai and Misa Matsui could just be like a team because that was awesome. They were great together, and now they won't be, and I was like, that's a bit of a shame. But like I think that's the cool aspect of not having factions. But also like from a storytelling perspective, I definitely see what you mean. That's like Utami. I feel like Utami should probably channel Io, and I think that's
Oh
where
yeah.
most people see her, is that she should be channeling Io in this not even rebuilding stage of Marigold, this building stage of Marigold. She should be what Io was during the rebuilding of Stardom.
Mm.
So I can see where you're coming from, but I'm not sure if that's the move because I also don't know if Utami wants to be held to the EO standard like that, like held to the EO character standard of greatness type gimmick.
Well,
She
that's
might
it's
want to
meant
be
to be your
something different.
ace, man. You know.
Well, not all
Yeah.
aces are like that. You know what I mean? Like I think there's levels to it.
Okay, I guess. The next match was Nanae Takahashi and Seri Yamaoka beating Chika Goto and Natsumi Shozuki in 13 and a half minutes. Seri got the pin over Chika in that time with her like flippy do into over the German suplex
It's the
into a
German.
roll up.
It's the German hold. Yeah, the
Yeah.
you gotta hold.
The funniest part of that move is that there's clearly people who haven't seen Marigold like in attendance, and so when she goes for the roll through, they think she's doing like an O'Connor roll or something, and they go
Yeah,
whoa, and then she just pins, and they're like, oh, okay.
yeah.
It's
She's like,
really
I don't need to
funny
do all that.
every
I'm just
time.
I'm just pinning them in. um,
I really like this. This is one of the
I
better
adored
Seri
this match.
performances. Everything was a
Yeah.
lot more snappy with her. Like everything flowed a lot better with the matches. Even her Tekker stuff. Like
Well, her and
I
Shozuki
fully got it here.
immediately clicked.
It
Um,
did.
from
It
from a
did.
Tekker standpoint, especially, and I
Um,
thought this showed a lot of Seri's best qualities, which
yeah.
is her selling. I thought that she
Mhm.
sold very well. Um, I thought that her craftiness came through, which is also something that I saw you've seen in like the top matches, in the Mirai match, in the tag match, but is not like a natural thing, I guess. Like you don't see it in every match, but like her reversing the giant swing by just like sitting up in the grass with Gochika and slapping her is just like
That was
that's what you
badass.
want from the young crafty, technician. Like that's what you want is small moments like that. And other than that, I mean, Nanai and Goto are great. Chika Goto, not Hiroki. Um, Nanai and Gochika are great, and I thought Shozuki did a great job here.
Mhm.
Shozuki is one of those wrestlers, and we've talked about a lot, where it's like she's usually good. Like it's rare that she's bad actively, but sometimes she just like kind of just locks in, clicks, and is just
Yeah.
like you just see her, and it's like, how is this woman not like the top champion? Um, And I thought this was one of those performances from her where I was just like, she just gets it on such an intrinsic level that just is like she's the coolest. And I thought this was definitely one of those matches where that shined through. Um, so yeah, really loved this match. I was like, damn, this match was this was this was this was a chef's kiss right here. I really liked it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I
It's
was
kind of
bummed it wasn't a title match. I think
yes. Yeah.
like the quality of the match, I was like, they definitely should have just put the titles on the line because
Should
it
have.
might as well have been like because they were going at it like it was.
They had Chica winning there for a while, and I thought they were building something, but now she's just losing again. So I guess not. Which is one of the weirder things about Marigold. Rossi used to be very conservative about who wins and loses mostly, but now he's just kind of like,
I
yeah,
don't
all
think
right,
he
you
can
can
be
win
really.
sometimes.
I think he's
Yeah,
got
I
I think he's
guess.
gotta preserve, like, 3 people, and
Yeah,
otherwise it's like, "Ah."
that's true. Because
Oh,
yeah,
and a 4th
Chica.
who has her ACL torn, so,
Yeah.
like,
No, because Chica did. She like strung together a few wins and then she would just drop. And he did the same with Myla Grace. Remember, she'd like go on these 3 match win streaks and then she'd just
Mhm.
be a loser for like a month. And you're like, okay,
To be fair,
sure.
I also think that indicates a long-term thing. I imagine she will get the Koki title challenge again, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in a few months. I imagine she gets a My Sakurai challenge in a few months as well,
Mm-hmm.
or either,
Maybe.
maybe, but I think the point is just that, like, she doesn't need to be winning right now, she can be winning later.
She doesn't, but I do think it's weird how sometimes he's wishy washy with it now. But I guess that's just where we're at.
Well, I mean, in
Um,
kayfabe, sometimes people lose, Alex.
yeah, but that's not. I do not recall that being Hirasi did it. I remember when Momo Watanabe would win every single show with the same move over and over again. Like
Okay, well,
I'm more
s
used to that.
Sar sorry to Xavi, but Chikugoto is not Momo Watanabe. Uh,
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like
and
you could
certainly not
look
the
at
ear
every
of Momo
match,
that
you
you're
could
talking about.
eyeball every match and know the finisher, who's pinning and who's staring at the lights. It was very like set, and it made for some interesting stuff. But
I think
not
Seri
doing it
over
now.
Sheikah is interesting instead of Seri over Shozuki.
Well, I think they're protecting Shizuki because they need her for the white belt or the red belt. She
I mean,
doesn't take
yes.
a lot of falls. Um,
Hey,
so
I'm not
you know,
complaining. Like
no,
that's not. I mean, yeah, I think Shozuki is kind of the most valuable wrestler right now. Because she can challenge for all four belts
yes,
realistically.
we need
So
to get
you
her in
kind
there.
of have to make sure that she's in a good position in case something goes wrong, as it does frequently in this company, in terms of injuries or
Yes.
just like scheduling whatever, and you need Shozuki to show up to challenge this or to do that or to join in here. Like, I think she's absurdly valuable in that way.
Um, our next match then was Chanyota and Mai Sakurai beating Mika Ono and Naho Yamada in 14 minutes. Chanyota got the win for her team over Naho and proceeded to challenge Mai
A
Sakurai.
jackhammer.
We said, let's put the white belt on the line, and we all rejoiced. They haven't given a date for that, but I would imagine that is also at the Corkin. Yeah, this is a really, really good match. Miko Ono being a de facto Hoss and just like running into Chanyota was fantastic.
I
Um,
forget it every time. Like, I
yes,
forget that,
yeah.
that's part of Miku's that's the bigger part of Miku's game these days, because there are hosses for her to go against.
hmm
So it's like I forget that is I forget Miku is like one of the best all-rounders in the company. You know what I mean? Where it's like she does like 6 different styles
She
and does
was
them
not
well.
the best signing they could have made for no reason.
Yeah. No, I know. But really, I forget that it's like you can look at any wrestler on the roster and you could be like, "Oh, Miku can kind of click with them in this way." Um, I think that was underutilized in the Dream Star, because they kind of kept her to doing like 4-minute matches for half of it.
Yeah,
Um,
she had the white
but
belt first.
yeah, yeah, no kidding. Um, but yeah, so I think that is something that you forget, is that it's like, oh, Miku and Chanyota is like a perfect Hoss matchup. Uh, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The Chanyota Mai offense is good as well, and
Mhm.
Naho is really taking a beating.
Yes.
Yeah, just a very good match all around. Very entertaining. Not quite
Yeah.
great, but very, very good. And
Yeah, I thought it
yeah,
was
they
third
set
on
up.
the card. Uh,
Yeah,
because I
that's
think
okay.
the match before it was better. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm happy Chanyota's around. You know, what I mean,
Yes,
like, I think that is
big
even if
get.
it is just a Tokyo thing, and I hope it's at least a Tokyo thing that she'll be around. Um, yeah, because I enjoy it. I enjoy her being around, and with I don't know, with the losses we're incurring incurring
Incurring. Yes,
that we're incurring here. You need a Chanyota to kind of like liven up the shows sometimes,
that
because
is
she
valid.
is a very lively wrestler, I would say, if that
Yes. Oh
makes
yeah,
sense.
for sure. Um, and a lot of it's fresh too.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, her and my Sakurai are legitimately very close friends,
hmm
for shoot, so I imagine they're going to be working their fucking tails off to I don't know why I said tails, working their asses off to have a great match at Korakuen.
Yes, definitely. Our main event then of the show was for the Superfly Championship. Victoria Yuzuki beats Misa Matsui in just under 15 minutes with the Moonsault Symphony. I thought this was a very good match. Didn't quite hit great for me, but it was very good. Misa Matsui, real standout. I thought everything she did was fantastic. Just very well paced, very into it, very intense. Yeah, everything she did was good. I was very back and forth on Yuzuki. I thought for a while she was just kind of spamming stuff, and then she would like throw a shoot punch and do her moonsaults, and I was kind of like, you know what, this is great. She did one corner drop kick where she somehow took a neck bump, and I just went, "You are the realist." So
Yeah,
Yuzuki is very fascinating because she is both bad and good. And so when people are debating her, I'm like, I see both
you're
sides
both right.
because
Yeah,
I get it. Sometimes she's kind of shit, but she's also willing to die for this business. And that is real as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to do her shit. And it is very interesting. And so I thought this ended up being a very fun, interesting match where Matsui kind of ran laps around Yuzuki, but Yuzuki also was like, "Hey, I'm that bitch. Like, let me do my stuff." So
Yeah, I don't know.
so
I really like this. You would be mad. You don't check my match guide. You'd be mad if you knew the matches that I rated on par with this. Because I thought it was very good.
you can tell me. I don't care.
No, it's I rated it as 7.5, right? 7.5. It's right
Okay.
under
No, it's valid.
like eights and up are very like I have to think about them.
Yeah.
I almost gave this an 8 because I really liked it, but I
Oh.
kind of thought back to the Matsui versus Shizuki match
Hmm.
at Ryogoku, and I was like, that this just does not touch that. Um,
Yeah.
and that was great, and I gave that an 8. That would probably be a 8.5, but I digress. I'd have to rewatch it. But I thought that this match was still very good, on par with some of the best Joshi title matches of the year so far. Some of them, not all of them, because I thought it was very, very good, and I love what Yuzuki brings to the table. Like, look, I think Yuzuki is what I like out of a rookie.
Hmm.
Um, because I kind of criticized Rei Seto earlier, right, for not really doing enough, not
Yeah.
really like taking enough chances and trying to find something. Yuzuki, I have not seen a single match where Yuzuki's not trying to find who she is. And I fucking love that. Like I love the fact that she's like, well, I'm gonna fucking try this now. I'm gonna go balls to the wall in this direction. If it works, fuck yeah. If it doesn't, I'm gonna try it again, maybe try it differently. Like, and that's what I want more than anything out of rookies. Is especially like I mean especially in Joshi in 2025, right? Like I don't need, and this is kind of my not to go over to Stardom, but I think this is my frustration with Akira and Yuria, even compared to Matoi, is that it's like they just clearly are like told not to try anything new because they're in the first 10 matches. Don't stand out, and I was like, no, you should want to stand out, and Akira does, but she doesn't do anything. Um, I want rookies who just fucking do shit. I think Yuzuki is like the prime example of that because she just fucking does shit and it's awesome at least 70% of the time. 30% of the time, we'll try
Yeah.
again later. Like there was an entire account of on fucking Twitter about Yuzuki botching. And I was like, half of these are fucking badass, bro. Like I don't like Yuzuki trying to do a cool ass move and just falling on her neck and be like, well, I tried. That's cool. Do that. Like if you're willing to do that, I respect you. And while this match wasn't, the most Yuzuki's gonna fucking die match that she's had in recent memory, it was just her throwing shit. And I think that's awesome. And I'm that was my Yuzuki tirade. Uh on the other side of things, Misa Matsui, such an incredible worker. I absolutely adore Misamatsui. I didn't expect to love Misamatsui as much as I do before Marigold started because I'd seen a couple of her actress matches and I thought she was very good. But I didn't expect to just really like see the world in her like I do now, and I think she's tremendous. This was just a very good match. I was very happy with it. Um, yeah, if you listen to these reviews to know what to watch, I would say on the Marigold side, watch this match and watch the Seri tag and the
Mhm.
and the Chan Yodam Nanae match if you can. But that's PPP Tokyo. That's a different story. But yeah, just really really good stuff. I really loved what they did here, and the post match has me very interested, as I'm sure everybody expects it to.
Yes. Yeah, so Chiaki came out and, like, stared down Yuzuki, and I thought, "Oh, they're gonna do Chiaki, Yuzuki, whatever." But then she picks up Misa Matsui and, takes her to the back, and everybody was like, "What
And
the hell?"
Nozaki comes out and helps
Yeah,
her up. Yep.
Nozaki is there, and they pose at the entranceway, and it's a tease for the Dark Wolf Misa Matsui, and, stuff is happening for once, you know? It's a move that, we will discuss because they furthered it today. Um Before that, I will say this show at Shinjuku Face felt like a really nice kind of jump on point for Marigold. I didn't think the Oat Award show made the statement they needed to. I don't think the last Corkin made the
No.
statement they needed to. I think this show, if you're out on Marigold, it's a good point to jump back in because I think a lot of the roster. their best foot forward. And then Seri, I think, had a very impressive performance. And then obviously Misa Matsui made a big move after the main event. So you kind of got a lot of insight into what Marigold is with this show. And so if you are listening and you haven't watched Marigold, this is probably a good point to jump in. I would say it was a very fun show, very nice representation of what the company is. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I was just being too positive for once.
No, I agree. I think I was lower on the lower card than you were, in terms of like I think Nami and Utami and now Shikawa Ryoko. I think both those matches I was a bit lower than you were. But
Mhm.
otherwise, I mean, yeah, I think this was like a pretty good summation of some of Marigold's more entertaining and enjoyable things. Uh and yeah, I think it is all just like a matter of elevating that undercard because you look at the last 3 matches, like, those were all very good,
Yeah,
like, legitimately just, like, well worked, high quality in-ring stuff, and, I think Megaton adds to the overall vibe there, Mirai wasn't even in a big match, and Mirai's probably there, but Utami wasn't in there, like, I think this show showcased, like, what they have outside of Mirai and Utami, who
yeah.
are kind of perceived to be their safer bets, um, on the in the company. And Bozilla, like,
Who
Bozilla
needs
also
depth?
wasn't on this card,
Oh yeah, Brazil just like gone. Yeah, who
and I
needs
think I
depth?
think
Who needs hummingbird? We got Chanyota.
okay, not the moves on Hummingbird. I miss Homegirl.
Okay, sure.
Can't wait till she
Um,
soars again.
okay,
Go
sure.
Birds! I don't really fuck with the Eagles,
Yeah,
but they won.
they did. I like the Eagles because the two shows I like are both set in Philadelphia. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, you know what? Sure, cool,
That's
man.
actually
Like,
yeah, same. I was like, you know what? Well, I mean, I don't like the Chiefs, so it wasn't hard for me to choose who to vote for.
that's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I was like, you know what? If the homies at not McLaren's, Patty's,
Patties, yeah,
yeah, at Patty's Pub, if they're happy, I'm happy. McLaren's is How I Met Your Mother, different show
yeah.
entirely.
Oh yeah, I don't think they were in Philadelphia.
New York.
Um, but anyway, the Marigold ran today as well. This is a smaller show in Nagoya that is on VOD. In the opener, Misa Matsui beat Rei Seto in 8.5 minutes with a modified fisherman's suplex. Um, and they did kind of make it seem like she was helped by the Dark Wolf Army, but I don't
They
know for sure.
they were at least seconds.
Yeah, so they did do a backstage promo where it was like, yeah, they cornered her. Jackie told her she's doing great. Matsui was like, "Am I a Dark Wolf?" And Azaki said, "Yeah, sure." So seems like they are going to have Misa start winning and be a part of the Dark Wolf army. I'd imagine that's one of the big matches at Korakuen is like the first like big the first time she unveils her heel look and stuff like that, and her Chiaki and Ozaki will beat up some baby faces. Um and
Eh,
on the
there's a match coming up where like she's tagging with someone, isn't she? Like
I can't remember. They
I
haven't
don't know, but
posted
I have
that.
a feeling that there's going to be like a vibe that's like, oh, like
Yeah.
she doesn't really fuck with the Hantai anymore.
Yeah. No, that would be good. That would be good. Um yeah, I regarding heel Miss Matsui, and I wanted to get through the Nagoya thing first.
Mm.
She had a match in Actress that I remember she was heel, or at least heelish, and she gave me very strong Soriano energy. Like she was very similar poses, very similar kind of icy veneer, very
Mhm.
similar hair because she does have kind of the short hair at the front. I was just kind of like, if she channels that with this, then they'll hit some gold. Like I think people will really enjoy Hiro Misamatsuri because from what I
I mean
remember, she did give me big Soriano energy.
that Yuzuki match was a heel performance from Misamatsui. Like I think
Kinda,
that's
yeah,
something that kind of got lost in the you know in it being a great match was that like the first chunk of it was Misa just being an asshole and just bullying Yuzuki. Um, I think Misa's like a perfect kind of she's a perfect temporary heel. And I think that's again not to compare it to Stardom. I know people don't like that, but I think finding good temporary heals is important. I obviously was not a fan of Starlight Kid's temporary heal run. Um, I think Saya's temporary heal run, if it's temporary, it looks like it probably won't be, or it probably will be because I don't imagine she'll like. I imagine Saya will become a baby face again, uh, in the long term. I feel like the Saya one makes more sense to me than the Kid one did, even if I don't love it. And I think Misamatsui is a perfect uh temporary baby or heal in
Hmm.
this role because she's just very good at everything, including being a fucking goblin. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
think that's part of her allure, right? I mean, shit, the entire Yazuki like build up was Misa being a heel. I mean, she
kind
just
of, but
got in the
she
she
definitely has another level to it,
yeah,
like
she can
another
it
notch.
will she can either go further with it, and I think that's another thing that we'll have to discuss when it gets to that time. But like, I mean, she literally went up to Yuzuki and was like, "Hey, I want your belt, homegirl. Want to shake my hand? Fuck you!" And then she hit her with a finish. Like that was like I was like everybody was like, "Damn, did she just turn heel?" And it's like, nope, not yet. Um, but so
Yeah,
I
not yet.
think the thing we'll see is how heel Misamatsui decides to be because
Yeah.
you say Siriano. I don't think Siriano fits in the Dark Wolf army.
That's true, unless she's like leading, which she might.
Misa, yeah, no, that's true. I don't know. I think Misa might be more. I think she might just lean more into the goblin side of it, where she's like a,
Possibly.
a menace, and a a major nuisance, and she
Well, it
probably
depends
becomes
on who this is
more
meant to
capable.
push. I don't know if Dark Wolf Army is a vehicle for Nozaki because she's not signed. It doesn't seem to be a vehicle for Chiaki,
I think it
despite
would
how
be a
much I would
vehicle
like that.
for Matsui.
So it would be Matsui, so she would be able to be more of the alpha leader kind of vibe, while the other two are just kind of the shithead heels,
Well, I
maybe.
don't know. I think I've maybe like I can see her being, and this is a crazy comp, but I can see her being like the Hazuki in the well, no, in like the older version of Oedo Tai, uh, where she's a bit more of the straight man, a bit more of the like aggressor, and just like a bit like the more level-headed, while
Mm,
Kagetsu and
I don't
the
think
troops
I don't
are
think it'll be
doing
a Stardom
bits.
comp. I think that you're probably stealing from Modern Actress, where they have that heel unit where Marie is like done up. She like lost her mask, but she has all the like face makeup and her hair
Yeah,
is done. I think you're looking more at that kind of transformation than anything Stardom
yeah. No,
related.
I think more so, not even like comparable. I think my point more so is like a difference in personality within a heel faction. Um,
Yeah.
where I don't know if Misa will conform with Dark Wolf Army, which I think would work, because I think Misa, like I said, being kind of like a menace works. Like I think she already is. Like she would just have to kind of like go deeper into that. Um, or like Misa could enact change on the faction, and it can
Mm,
become a bit more of like what you see with that more Sekigun sort of thing, the Suriano type of thing. Or Misa could be like the odd duck and be the straight man while Chiaki and Nozaki are just kind of fucking with people. Like any of those three are possible. I think all three of them would work, honestly. Like I think that's why Misa to Dark Wolf Army is a good move, frankly, is because I think no matter how they spin it, I think be it should work, at least to some degree.
mhm.
So yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with that because it gives Misa something to do. Everybody's complaining about Misa not having enough to do. She's gonna do something. Be happy.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's fair. Can't win sometimes. You do something and they don't like it. You don't do something and they don't like it. It's tough. But anyway, the next match was now Ishikawa beating Riara in 5.5 minutes. Then Natsumi Shozuki, please translate. Yeah, Natsumi Suzuki pinned Ryoko Sakamura in a three-way match that also involved Yuki Minami. So they are protecting Minami over Ryoko, who is just a lost post at this point. Um, in
I
my
think we would. I think we
Sakurai's,
would notice it a lot less if Tachibana was around right now.
that's true. In Mai Sakurai's fifth anniversary celebration, her and Miko Aono beat Mirai and Chikagoto, who again takes a fall. Mai Sakurai got the win for her team with the STF, and afterwards got to cut a promo talking about how 5 years ago she debuted against Aono, and now they are here, which is kind of nice. Um, let's see. Congratulations. I lost, but I'm going to get stronger. Yeah, just the usual crap. Um, then Utami and Yuzuki beat Nagisa Nozaki and Chiaki. Yuzuki pinned Chiaki in 15 minutes with a cross-arm suplex. And in a promo afterwards, Chiaki and Nozaki were like, "No, we got our shoulder up, though. So, hey, you didn't win." So that's that. Um, and then
Wait, what happened?
basically Nozaki and Chiaki lied. They were like, our shoulders were actually up, so we didn't lose. They just kind of
Based.
lied. Yeah, and then our main event, Nanae and Seri beat Megaton and Bozilla. Seri got the win for her team in 12 minutes with the angle hold over Megaton. Yamioka also was like, "Hey, Megaton, you should practice. Get your shit together." So that's every single person who has beaten Megaton has got a promo being like, "You fucking suck," right after.
Because
Seri,
they all love
you
him.
leave my girl alone. You don't, okay? I just came around on Seri Yamioka. Do not piss me off, okay? Um,
I do love the concept of Megaton being well, did you get to read the interview at all?
part of it, yeah.
Because like there was a part where Megaton couldn't do a front roll on her first day of
Oh my
practice, and
god.
Julia was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Um, and then when she finally got it, Julia like completely dropped her like facade. She's like, "Good job!" Like she was like Julia was so pumped that she that she got it done, and so it was like, "Damn, Julia's a drill sergeant here." But no, everybody loves Megaton, so I think it's really funny that everybody just absolutely slanders her name constantly.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Um, that was all for the review section. There are two shows this coming week, I think, but there's only cards for one. Huzzah. So on the 14th, they run in Sendai Pit, the glorious pit. Misa Matsui opens the show against Ryoko Sakamura, which is
Wait, what
probably a
day do
win.
they do?
What?
What day?
Friday, 14th,
Damn, because Storm's running there Saturday.
in the pit.
Oh wait, well, I think this is just in Sendai. It might be a different spot.
Yeah, Stardom, it says, is in
Oh,
Shizuoka and
it's in
Messe.
Sendai City. Yeah.
That's the 22nd. That's next week.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, Matsui is going to pin Ryoko in the opener, I imagine.
I thought that the Tochigi show was this weekend. Damn. Yeah. I think Matsui wins.
Nao Ishikawa versus Naho Yamada versus Riara. Um, that is probably Nao Ishikawa over Naho with
Wait,
Riara.
isn't Naho hurt?
Probably not. They tweet this at 11 o'clock this morning, so she must be fit. Go.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird they announced one show and not the other earlier today, but it's whatever. Seri Yamioka takes on Rhea Seto. The hometown girl Seri, or not Seri, Rhea is going to get pinned by Seri. Very interesting, actually, that one.
It's not her hometown, but she had work in Sendai.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Her
same.
hometown was where they were today.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting.
Her and Misa had a hometown off.
Yes, she did actually say that afterwards. She was like, "Hey, we're both from Nagoya." Yeah, I forgot. Anyway, Seri versus Rhea. That's very you coded
Sari's
for some reason.
Sari's gonna obliterate her, and we'll see like
Yes.
what we can do there. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Mirai and Natsumi Suzuki take on Bozilla and Megaton, which is a win for Mirai over Megaton.
Yes. I think that's
Um,
obviously like setting that up.
yeah. Mai Sakurai and Miko Aono take on Nagisa Nozaki and Chiaki, which is probably Mai over Chiaki. But it's weird that Mai and Aono are just a team now. I wonder if they're going to be the next
They
Twin
kind of
Star
don't like each
challengers.
other though.
They don't, but they also
We'll see.
go way back, so maybe they'll Twin
Yes.
Star, you know.
Back
And
to
then
the beginning.
yeah, possibly.
Get
And
it?
then it
Get it? Beginning. Actress. Beginning.
yes, yeah, yeah. Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki versus Chikugoto and Minami Yuki. That is going to be Utami over
I wonder
Yuki.
who gets pinned.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, that's strange. I thought there was cards announced further out, but because they had all these challenge matches announced, but I haven't got it on the website and they haven't got it on the Twitter.
They definitely hold on.
Unless
I think there's further back on the Twitter.
is it? Yeah, because I was pretty sure they announced the cards for the 16th because they had all these challenge matches, and I
Yes, I
was
know
like, "What
exactly what
are
you're
the
talking about.
challenge matches?" Um, but now I'm not finding it for some reason. They
Going to the
haven't
media.
updated
Hold
the
on.
website.
Hold on.
We're
Looks
gonna
like
sort this one out. We'll figure it out. Let's see who goes
alright.
first. Is it on the news of the website? Or
Oh,
their
no, I have
website
it. I
does
have it.
actually
I
have a
have it.
news section, but they don't actually. Oh yeah, Hodogaya.
Wait. Oh, shit. Wait, they're running that again?
Yeah,
No, no, no. So, okay, so
yeah.
the
No, I
show
know what you
on
mean.
the
I have it up.
16th.
I have it up. So on the 16th, Stardom is running in Hodogaya Ward, wherever that is, and this is what I meant: challenge match: Utami versus Minami Yuki. They're running it back
Okay.
already as a challenge match. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's special rules. I think it's just rookies versus established wrestlers. Um,
I think a
but
challenge
then
match to me would imply 10-minute time limits.
maybe, possibly.
If you could push them
Um,
to a draw, that's like a big deal. But
yeah,
maybe that's not what it is.
I have no idea. They haven't explained it, so who knows?
I mean, a
Um,
brownie, sorry.
That's all right. We have Mai Sakurai versus Ryoko Sakamura, which is my match. This is my match. And yeah, Mai Sakurai is going to win. Mika Iona versus Naho Yamada. That fucking rocks. But yeah, poor Naho is going to take a pin. And then the Nanae Takahashi versus Rhea Seto. It's one of the last little singles matches, I would imagine, for Nanae. Um, she's going to win, of course. And then Natsumi Shizuki versus Riara in the last challenge match. So, um, very intrigued there to
That
see
that
how they go.
respectfully, this new Shizuki render is very cute. I think she looks good. I like the hair.
Okay.
The
Is
hair.
there
No, no,
anybody on
no.
this
Not
roster
like
who
in a
doesn't?
weird. Why do
No,
you make?
I'm
Yeah,
not
whatever.
saying anything. Is there any? Does everybody on this roster have the same pose?
They've been told, I imagine. Yes.
Literally everybody does the arm cross except Nozaki.
Nozaki.
'Cause she's a beast. Um, the other match on this show is Mirai, Victoria Yuzuki, and Seri Yamioka versus Chika Goto, Misa Matsui, and now Ishikawa. That's the one
Yeah.
you were
Oh,
talking
this
about,
this
where
was this was
Misa
the match where I think Misa's gonna like
fully turned.
reject. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to see Seri away from the knife for the full weekend. She's in a
Like, you
singles,
know
and
what?
then she's teaming with Mirai and Yuzuki.
You know what I could see happening here
What?
is because after this, when's the Corkin?
The 20th, I believe.
Oh, so yeah. So after this, I think this match is going to end with Misa Matsui abandoning her team
Yeah.
because obviously they're losing.
Yep.
So and I imagine she officially joins Dark Wolf Army
Hmm.
after the main event,
Oh,
which
maybe.
is
Okay. Bazilla and Megaton versus Nagisa Zaki and Chiaki. Because
you know
Bazilla
what
beating
would
them once wasn't enough.
you
But
know what
she's
would
gonna
actually
lose
be
now.
kind of based
What?
if Bozilla and Megaton were like, you know what, let's go back home, and then it was a 5-person Dark Wolf Army with them and Misa.
I I would be here for it,
I
but
think it would. I think it
I'm
would
not
be
sure.
better than the alternative of
Yeah.
Megaton being alone in a few months.
For Megaton. It makes me feel bad for Megaton. But yeah, it's an interesting weekend ahead. All the singles matches is kind of fascinating to see them run. It's very weird that they don't have those on the schedule. Like they had been good about that of putting the cards on the schedule, but now they've given up. But yeah, we'll preview or we'll review those kind of next week, and then look ahead to the Korakuen, which looks right now like it's the twin star match: Mai versus China, Godzilla versus Mirai, and then a Dark Wolf trios versus some baby faces, which not bad, you know. Can't complain. Um, but with that, it is time to go on to Stardom. So, lot to discuss from the world of Stardom. I guess we should just start with the fact that Dave Meltzer gave 5 stars to the Artist of Stardom Championship match from Korakuen Hall. That was last week. The general reaction when he did it was that one, really, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Like this like glass ceiling for women that he's had for the last few years was shattered, and we all just went, "Okay, yeah, sure."
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you know, the second best women's match of the century
yes. Yeah.
in the eyes of the most respected wrestling
Oh
journalist in
my
the world.
god,
Maybe not to still, but one of them.
that is
Historically, the most
hilarious.
respected wrestling journalist. Um, yeah, I mean, like the thing is, and like it's very funny for me to say this, but he just loves Azumi.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude.
can't blame him. I think
Everything
Azumi
he
is
writes about
obviously
Azumi is
tremendous.
literally like, "She's the best wrestler in the world. Please, for the love of God, get her on this stuff." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, sure."
it's always like, yeah, everybody was here, but Azumi was better. Including here, where he pretty much was like, yeah, Azumi and Ano brought this to five. Um, which hey, if you're gonna rate it a five, I agree. I think Ano and Azumi put in masterful work.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. I this match was very good. I adored it. It was a really good match, and I'm happy that something got a five. But it is very funny that
Yes.
of all of the matches, like I've seen better Azumi artists matches.
Oh, dude, like,
Like those.
Chanyoda and Nanai was better. Like, not to be
No,
hipster about it, but, like,
I wouldn't say that, but
I would say that.
no, like I mean, fucking Azumi, Utami, and Kamatani challenged like last year, and it was a better artist match. I forget who they
Yeah.
challenged, but I've seen better versions of this match.
Remember when Momo, Saki, and somebody else had them, and they were just, like, hooping?
Who else was it? Was it Natsuko? Was it Goldship? Did they hold that?
I
Or no,
think
it would have
so.
been Kid. It would have been Kid. It would have been Kid.
Oh, yeah,
It
dude,
was
they were
Kid, and
so
then they had
good.
the
That was
prominence
a I
match, and
remember
then
that was a
lost the
great
prominence.
trios. I remember they kicked ass for a while. But yeah, these belts have been, like, killer for ages, so this
Yeah,
being the
I
first
mean,
one to
like,
get 5 is pretty crazy.
and
But in saying
also
that
Joshi's like the trios matches, like they do hit a certain they
oh, yeah,
click with a
for sure.
certain fan base.
Mhm.
If you put this match in PWG, which doesn't exist anymore, and also doesn't like women, but if you did that, it would it wouldn't feel out of place,
Yeah,
and it would be the best match of the card. So I get it. Like stylistically, it makes sense why it's popular. But crazy choice, even of the artist belts, recent like
yeah,
catalog. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, we just had them on the work rate Angels, you know? Well, this
No,
match was a work
that,
rate
that
Angels
wasn't.
match. I forgot about that. But, you know, they've
Yeah,
definitely
yeah. Wait, yeah. I was gonna say this was the.
yeah,
I mean, this what
this
I
was the
would
work
say this
rate
was.
Angels.
I would say this was the best workers match, trio style match. I would say that.
Maybe, possibly.
I'm trying to hold on. I'm actually interested in the
You know
last
what?
time.
Listen, it doesn't matter ultimately. But I just thought the reaction was very funny for everybody to just generally be like, "That one? Really?" Because even the
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Stardom fans were like, "What about the main event? Like, what? Like, they didn't like, what, did you not give the main event 5?"
A
Like,
couple years ago. Well, yeah. A couple years ago, they ran Prominence versus Izumi, Saya, and Utami.
hell yeah,
And like I have that one very high. Like
yeah,
it was a
that sounds
great,
beast.
great trios match.
Yeah,
Um, and so I like look at that compared to this. I was like, that was just better.
yeah,
Like it had the
it,
great
it's
Azumi
different.
run.
Yeah,
It had good. Like it just is hilarious.
that is Dave. The less you think about Dave, the better. That's kind of how I would think about it. But I just thought I'd bring it up because it is a fun
It
fact
is of note.
that Miyu Amasaki has more 5-star matches than Mai Iwatani, Io Shirai, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Bailey, Sasha Banks, and many other luminaries of professional wrestling.
Every single one of her peers, except for the five
Yes.
people in this match, Shuri and Utami.
Yeah. So
And
Big Kev.
Miyu's supposed to have two because Dave retroactively was like, yeah, it was probably five, but I don't redo ratings. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
QQ
about the
reply.
cage
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. Big Kev, what can I say? Also, just in case you're curious, the main event got 4.5. If he did rate so Suzu versus Saya, and he did enjoy it. Um,
I would say that was a fair rating. Um,
yeah, that's
I would
what I
say
gave it in my
I
review.
didn't give it a 4.5. I gave it a 3.75. I gave
Wow.
both of them 3.75s. 7.
That's that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Uh,
Um,
which is 7.5 on my scale, but
yeah.
doesn't matter. Go on.
Okay. Um, Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom. They were announced for the T Hearts show happening at the end of the month. Kyoto Ito is teaming with Natsupoi to take on Yumiko Hoda and Sori Ano, and a team of Aja Kong and Tam
I fucks
Nakano
with that.
on that show. That show is also main evented by Dash Chizako, Veni, and Sha versus Miku Kanei, Chihiro Hashimoto, and Sari. Also, Nori is on that show against Miria Kuga, and Hinori Hana is wrestling Misa Kogura. Mio Momono was meant to wrestle Chi Chi, but she is injured. So,
Man,
we'll
I
have
think
to
I
wait and
might
see.
give up on watching wrestling. I know it's Goto week, and that's like, why
Yeah, you
would I say
can't do
that?
that.
But
But like that
Miyamomo's out, man.
three-way match, that three-way tag, fucking insane. Love that. Hope we get to see that show in some form.
I
Also
do.
outside of Stardom, on Oz Academy's Angels of the Abyss show in Shinjuku Face, FWC retained the Oz Tag Team Championships when they beat Aquino and Kohaku in 19 minutes. Did you watch this? I think you watched this.
This was better than the trios match. This
Okay.
match was better than the trios match.
Right.
Yeah, this was great.
I forgot to watch this, honestly. I
It
always
was it
forget about
was
Oz.
Kohaku hasn't really been in form
Yeah.
recently. I felt like this was an instance of like you kind of seeing that.
Hmm.
Aquino was just, it was cool to see her interact with Hazuki and Koguma. And
Yeah.
Hazuki and Koguma could like if they're locked in, it's a title match, like they can have a great match with a fucking monster can. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
That's
not
valid.
hard. And I thought like it was a great match. Great match.
Okay. Afterwards, it was set up that it will be FWC versus OWC. Momoka Hanazono and Itsuki Aoki are forming Osaka Double Crazy, and they will
No, no, no,
challenge
no.
for the belts.
It's Osaka double comedy.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be great, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Hanazono
well,
in interacting with Koguma and Aoki possibly just fucking Hazuki up. That sounds incredible.
I
Um,
think I mean I've been saying I want Aoki to wrestle everybody all the
I
time,
agree.
and this was shit. Here we are.
Um, Aya Sakura was on one of the Sendai shows, but it's not the one that I have up.
Yuna, she wrestled Yuna,
Did
didn't
she
she?
beat Yuna or did she lose
I
to
have no
Yuna?
clue. That's my bad.
Um, or did they change it, or am I just
Or
on
is
my
that
way
coming
off?
up?
It's probably coming up, yeah, because Yuna faced Maria, Koga, and Chi Chi this past week. So
Yeah, so yeah, it's coming up. It's not. It
yeah.
hasn't happened yet.
After the main event on the 9th, when Red Energy won the Sendai Girls Tag Team Championships, they were challenged by Maika and Hanako to a Tag Team Championship match, which has been announced for Sendai Girls to the Top, which is happening at Yoyogi
Yoyogi.
in March. So we
Where did
have.
it all go wrong?
I know.
Like
I know.
like this company had the best tag scene last year going into this year, and now the a good team, but relatively one of the less interesting teams, got the belts from the most interesting team and are now challenging, or
Well,
now
in fairness,
getting
Mia
challenged
Momono
by,
broke her arm, so
yes,
I don't think she could retain the titles, even if she wanted to.
correct, but I don't think she was going to. That's the problem.
Probably not
Um,
if they were going to do a Stardom match, because it wouldn't make
and
much sense.
and somehow Stardom says, y'all want our lamest a protected tag team
Ooh,
to challenge?
that's harsh.
And Mako just said, I love lame tag teams. Let's do this.
That's crazy.
And
Oh my
well,
god.
I mean, and like you look at the card, there's 4 matches on the card. They have they have generational matches. They have Jaguar versus fucking Hiroda. They have Mako versus Hosh. They have Risa Serra in a death match against Dash, and they have Micah and Hanako
Yes.
versus Red Energy
Yes.
in 2025.
Red Energy do not belong in the same
No,
conversation as Cup
Red
Pioneers.
Energy
That
are
is
good.
not
That's
fair.
that's the problem. That's the problem with Red Energy. They are a very good tag team.
Yeah.
But when Sendai Girls has had like 5 of the best tag teams like in the world have great matches repeatedly, constantly,
Yeah, but most of
and
them are
also Red
booked.
Energy is there.
You could like most of them are booked, so you could not run
Yes.
half of them.
Where's
Well, they
Lana
should
Cross when
actually.
you need her?
Yeah,
Ay, Dios
honestly.
mío.
Yeah, get her back. But anyway, I think that's all for Stardom Masters outside Stardom. I don't believe they were announced for anything else. But then again, these women do so much. Like they're just everywhere these
Mhm.
days, so it is hard to keep up. But I think the main stuff was Sendai and Oz, and then the T Hearts announcement. So,
There's a
oh
picture of
shit,
his Zuko.
no, the best match tomorrow at Seedling. Baraka is taking
Oh
on
yeah.
Hinori Hana, and let me tell you, I am so excited for that. Hinori Hana has been kicking ass since she came back. And Rocca, I think, has had a really strong 2025 out of nowhere. And I think they're going to absolutely steal the show in what is actually a fucking class card. Because, like, that main event
Mhm.
with Lassie Egos versus Team Hoda, crazy. So, yeah, Rocca and Hannah might steal that show regardless.
Oh, I believe it, man. Like they're like I have been singing the praises of Ruaka for God knows how long, and I feel like she's finally like really like stepped up to be like, yeah, you know what, Dawn's right.
Did it
This
just
is
for
all
you.
me. This is all
Yeah.
me. Like it's like,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know. Like I'm excited for that match. I would be more excited if it was Ida because obviously Ida and Hanori Hana have history, and that's a match that, for my taste, is like something I need to see. Uh,
hmm
but obviously, Ida is still recouping from an injury, so
But they
um,
have announced her comeback for the Utsunami
yes,
show.
yes, for Tochigi, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I'm excited for that match because Ruaka is a beast, and I think Hanori Hana is also a beast. So that like it could just kind of not click, because that's always an issue with younger wrestlers and wrestlers who like Ruaka, who is a bit more of a you know, if it clicks, it's great. If it doesn't, it's not. It might not click, but I expect it to be a very fun match.
That is fair. But with that, we have to get on to the actual wrestling in Stardom. So on February 8th, Stardom in Kobe 2025,
That was the seventh, wasn't it?
they had
Or am I a day
no,
off?
the 8th.
I am a day off. Yeah.
Yeah. Five fans here. In the opener, Yuna
You
Mizumori,
cut
Seri
out, so
Ano,
you just said they had 5 fans here, just so you know.
incredible. That's actually the truth. They only had five people. Um, in the opener, Tam Nakano, Natsupoi Seriano, and Yuna Mori beat Mayu Utani, Hazuki Koguma, and Momokogo. Unimon got the win with the Tropicana in 14 minutes for her team. Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Okay. Um, Maysara and Starlight Kid beat Akira and Yuria. Maysara got the win in just under 10 minutes with the Meteor Dragon over Akira. Um,
Meteor Dragon, that's what it's called. Yeah, because every time I see her do the Dragon Sleeper, I'm just like, what does she call that again?
yeah, it was a submission.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a bit too long considering how little Akira and Yuria get to do. But it
yeah.
was nice to see, I
This
guess.
match frustrated me, because of
Yeah,
that. Because
that's fair.
I was like, and I think it also was kind of annoying because the next show, the Yamaguchi show, was better. Like I was like, oh yeah, they can get their like couple things in way better in a trios match, or they could just start doing things. That'd be interesting.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah.
that's fair. I guess they like Yuria now more than Akira because, yeah, Akira took the pinfall here. Or not the pin, the submission. But you know what I mean.
But
Ruaka
yeah,
and Azusa Inaba beat Rani Agami and Sayaka Kurara in 9 minutes when Azusa pinned Rana with the Bubba Killer number 2.
this was good.
Um, Yeah, I enjoyed this. This was when I went, damn, Rock is having a good year. Also,
Yeah,
why was a God's Eye wrestler teaming with a Cosmic Angels wrestler? Well, what's the deal with
because
that?
they are
They've been
they're
they're starting to do some of that weird stuff because on this
well,
week's shows as well, I think there's like cross faction babyface
yeah. But
stuff.
to be fair, this is it's these are Yuria and Akira from a year ago. Like they debuted together, remember?
Yeah,
So they're like direct classmates, like to the day.
that is fair. But even still,
Also,
but anyway,
Azula stunting on them hoes in that pit. Like she kicked Ronnie Agami's head off, and then was like, "Oh yeah, where's the camera? Peace."
yes, she's a beast.
Crazy
I'm
shit.
very into the Azusa. Um, we then had Hanako, Rian, and Maika pinned Azumi, Miyu Amasaki, and Suzu Suzuki. Hanako beat Miyu in 10 minutes with a JP coaster. Um, this is, of course, because they are wrestling for the future belt tomorrow, and Stardom loves to do the 50-50s in previews. So,
Oh yeah,
there you
there will be a new future Storm champion probably by the time this is out.
go. Ooh, wow, harsh.
Damn shame.
Um, Hanan beat Aya Sakura then in 12 minutes with a blockbuster hold in our next match. This was
I
Aya
saw this live.
Sakura's hometown celebration, and I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
I got to watch it with Scott and Xavi.
solid.
Yeah, it was a fun time. We're all Aya fans. Hanan's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I I, it
Uh,
w- I think stylistically this wasn't the best match they could have ran for
mhm.
like a special Aya showcase, but I thought it was
Yeah, no,
still
I
quite
agree.
good.
That's fair. In our main event in a 4-on-3 handicap match, Konami, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, and Saika Matani beat Seri, Lady C, and Tomoka Inaba of God's Eye. Konami beat Seri in just under 12 minutes via referee stoppage and then spray painted her after the match.
Blackface
Um,
strikes again in the fucking Joshi community. This is getting
yeah.
ridiculous, guys. First May Sarah joined the club, and now we're here. Ugh.
Okay.
I've been sending
Um,
that as a reaction image to my friends that don't know who May Sarah is, by the way.
that is incredible, honestly.
I sent that to you, right? Do you know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was that. I hate everything to do with God's Eye Konami. It's so I don't like it.
When I saw this
On
was a 3-on-4, I was like, I'm not watching that. I'm sorry.
February 9th,
I was like, there's not even,
yeah, no, that is
you know.
totally fair. Yeah, Saki Kashima is also injured, so they had to pull her and change everything. We had in the Yamaguchi KDDI Ishin Hall, they wrestled in front of 557 fans. Um, M- Mayu and some big fat dude. Well, no, he's not fat. That's mean.
Yeah,
Some
what the
big
fuck?
dude were
I think
like
he's a musician,
impersonating singers,
comedian. I
and
know.
yeah, fake guitar and had sunglasses. Then we had it doesn't tell me who won or who lost, but it was Starlight Kid, Suzuki, and Akira.
Suzu won
Uh,
over Yuria.
cool, thank you. Over Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Yuria in 10.5 minutes with a greedy rock. Um, I initially thought Yuria was very Cosmic Angels coded, but seeing her with Cosmic Angels, I went, nope, that is an EXP girl if I've ever seen one. She just does
Oh.
not fit the vibe with Cosmic Angels in my eyes. Akira doesn't really fit Neo Genesis either. She was a lot more natural, I think, than Yuria with the Cosmic crew.
What
So
was the finish of this match? Like, what did Suzu hit? I don't remember
it
what
was
the
a
greedy
submission.
rock
It
is.
was a submission as well.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Because
the grounded
I remember
submission. Yeah,
seeing
no,
it
I know
and
what you're talking
going,
about.
that is really random that we're doing also submissions now. Maybe it's a thing, but maybe not.
To be fair,
So
that's like her resting submission, and she has
yeah,
won because Yuri is so green.
that's valid.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate Akira with like I think Akira and Suzu look compatible.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean they
Could you
fused,
imagine her
but you
doing
know,
a pose or a dance? Like I just don't see it.
no, no, obviously not. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no, I agree. I don't think either of them uh fit the molds that they were put into in these tags. But I
Yeah.
thought this was their first like actively good match for either of them. Um, I was a fan of this one mainly because I just thought that everybody around them did very well and they kind of incorporated them well into the matches or into the match rather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was a fan of this one. That was a solid match. I also just
All
love
right.
Suzu.
That is
My
valid.
fandom of Suzu Suzuki has really been revived. So I expect them to ruin it sooner rather than later.
I'm sure. Uh, Yuna Mizumori and Azusa Inaba in a three-way match. Yuna pinned Rian with the Warrior Return in 1/2 minutes.
So
Right long.
Azusa's just on all these shows now.
Yeah, she's basically there. They put out the little schedule thing for everybody, and she's on a lot of them.
Like I don't know when I realized that I was like I'm seeing Azusa more than I'm seeing like active wrestlers and
Yeah,
like Azusa's probably wrestled more matches in this company than like Hazuki has because Hazuki's taken like 2 days off because
possibly.
Haas.
Definitely wrestled more than Matoi.
Well, yeah, Matoi's
Yeah.
injured, and I realized that during the show. I was like, damn, this
That was
sucks.
so funny that you didn't realize, but I had the same with Hummingbird, so I get it. Our next
But I
match was
like
made.
I like Matoi a lot. Like that was the funny
Yeah,
thing.
no, that's fair. Maesara and Miyo Misaki beat Hanan and Momokogo. Maesara got the win for her team in 9 minutes with the shooting star. Woohoo! Um,
Okay,
yeah,
Azusa's had 3 less matches in Stardom than Hazuki this year, which is
okay,
not that much.
no, definitely not. This is definitely wrong. It says Mike and Hanako beat Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara in four
Oh,
minutes.
real quick. The Mei Sarah Hanan feud reigniting.
Yes,
Thank you. Finally, took
stuff.
fucking 2 years, but we're here.
Yeah. This definitely did not go 3 minutes. But Hanako beat Aya Sakura with the JP coaster after Carrara accidentally speared Aya Sakura. They didn't show it well on the camera, but I saw somebody was telling Peps that like Carrara and Aya were like shoving each other away and exited separately afterwards as well. So they're really fully teasing the Sakura and Carrara split here, which is probably gonna play into the Saya Kamatani stuff. I would be
Yeah.
shocked if
So, well,
Aya isn't chosen as the tag partner.
after the match, Aya was basically like, shit keeps happening. I believe in cosmic angels, but I don't believe in Sayaka Kurara. Uh,
Oof.
or no, it was in Sakura Kurara, which is their team name.
Okay.
Not specifically in Sakura. Like she was like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
team's
Okay.
dead, basically. Or she said she
Hmm.
wasn't sure about if the team is
Very
worth
interesting.
pursuing. So yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Definitely gonna be something
t
there.
t-shirt club high mate or cup high mate.
Yeah. The returning T-shirt Naito. Welcome back, T-shirt Naito.
They wish they were fucking t-shirt Naito, man. At least he does
All right.
bits.
All right. Chill out.
They
Chill
just
out.
drink
Chill out.
beer.
Well, yeah, but that's cool. But anyway, Seri, Tomoki Inaba, Rani Agami, and Lady C beat Saya Kamatani, Natsuko Tora, Konami, and Oraka. Seri got the win with the White Tiger for her team in just under 12 minutes. Woohoo! They
Lady C looks so excited to win because she doesn't win. She
yeah,
doesn't do that.
Siri could have promo. She was like, "Hey, I've been waiting for you to come back, Konami. Let's settle things. God's eye will get the results we want. We'll absolutely show you." So just standard babyface power there, really. Um, then we had the Mayu Utani Triumphant Return special tag match. Mayu and Tam took on the returning Momoas. Mayu got the win for her team in 14 minutes of moonsault press over Azumi. Um, yeah, I mean, this was a lot of feelings. These two former tag teams going at it. I always love the Mayu Tam kick into the German suplex spot. It scratches a certain part of
You
my
know,
brain.
I know I say it every week, but it is very funny that they clearly just don't know that that kid was the correct choice to put with Mayu in this match. Um, just historically, like that's what would have made sense because MK Sisters
Kind of.
Memoirs was like the feud of the year that one year,
Yeah, but
the
this is
tag
meant
feud
to be
of the year.
Saki, and obviously they go back way longer. Where and
Well,
Tam
yes, I
was
mean
easier
no,
to free up.
I'm saying as a replacement for Saki.
Yeah, I think Tam
Not
was easier
not.
to free up than Kid,
eh,
just by the
Um,
make out of the card. So
yeah, I get you, but yeah, I like this match. It was a bit hard because it's like, it was a lot of Momo trying to ruin Mayu's day and not a lot of Momoa's reunion stuff because
yeah.
it couldn't be because that's not how the characters work. Um so that kind of hindered some of the like actual work in the match.
Mm.
But what was good was really good and was really nice to see. They did some of the combos that they used to do, which I appreciated. Momoa specifically, and Tim
Hmm.
Mayu as well. So
Yeah, the Tam
yeah,
Mayu was fun.
it was very good match. Congrats to Mayu on her 14th anniversary homecoming show and whatnot. Um, yeah,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I thought it was a good match too. Nothing
Mhm.
blow away, but I had a fun time.
No, and I thought
Um,
it could have been blow away, but also like I said, I think there was just kind of they were going for something else.
yeah, no, I gotcha. Um, yeah, as of we are kind of talking, there's no cards for this coming week, so kind of difficult. There was a show earlier today from Stardom as well. Obviously, we'll go over it, but yeah, like there's a card for tomorrow's show, but this will have gone up by then, so no real point in digging into that. But then the the Messe show and the Fuji show, they don't have cards up for those yet, so we won't be able to preview those. Um,
Wait, what the fuck?
uh,
Why are they running another 3-on-4 match?
I don't know.
That's actually funny. Oh wait, no, that's a funny match that's happening today.
Okay, okay.
It's
Anyway,
do you know what it is?
I've seen it, but I forget, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
So on today's show in Hiroshima, Neo Genesis, the team of Azumi and Suzuki beat Maika and Yuria. The Stars team of Hanan and Koguma beat Rani Yagami and Seri Ano in 9 minutes. The Ayasakura and
Wait,
Unimon
what?
team, what?
Rana and Ano? That's a
Yeah,
interesting.
that's what I've been saying. They're doing a little weird
Oh,
crossover there.
anti-bear. That was the gimmick.
That was incredible.
Because yeah,
Ayasakura and
Soriano also anti-bear.
Mizumori beat Akira and Mei Seira, which is obvious, the rookie losing. Hazuki, Mai Utani, and Momokogo beat Natsupoi, Sayaka and Tam Nakano. So
For them?
Sayaka cannot buy a win. Miyu Amasaki and Starlight Kid beat Hanako and Rian to further 50-50 the future match that is happening tomorrow. And then Konami, Natsuko Tora, and Saya Kamatani beat Kyoka Kotatsu, Lady C, and Siri. Afterwards, Kyoko was like, Konami, you have gone down the wrong path. I will surpass you by using the correct methods. And Konami went, lol. So
Wait,
that was
what?
kind of the
Wait, who
main.
said what?
Kyoka Kotatsu was like, hey, I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm going to surpass you with my methods,
To
because they
Konami?
both. Yeah,
Oh, I thought you said to Shuri. I was like, did she turn
no,
heel?
to,
What the
to
fuck?
Konami. And yeah, Konami just was like, lol, get wrecked, kid. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, these house shows are kind of built around Konami versus Siri, which is fine unless you're me and you absolutely cannot stand anything to do with that feud. Because God's Eye are just geeked. Like that's there. It's hard to buy them at all.
Odds
Um,
are geeked. This feud ruined the tag belts for several months.
okay,
Um,
that's a bit harsh.
no, it literally did.
It did
Um,
not. Come on.
dude, they were having one of the best the FWC and the Crazy Star and Aphrodite had a great start to the year,
They're gonna
and
drop
then
them anyway. Like
and then
it
they
doesn't
dropped him to
matter.
Konami Shuri
Yeah.
in a match, and then
Oh,
They held the belts for for weeks, and then dropped them to X or no to fucking Supreme because Konami turned, and Supreme held them while Tekla was fucking suspended, and like it just I
I know.
blame Konami and Shuri as a story for
I know.
everything
I
wrong in the
understand.
world.
It's okay. It's all right, Dylan. So we have this show will be up by the time we release this, so I'm not gonna go too in depth. But Soriano and Ayasakura take on Hanan and Momokogo. There's a 3-on-4 handicap match. Mayu, Hazuki, and Koguma
This one,
take on Maika, Rian, Akira, and Yuria.
like
So they
that is
really
very funny. They
they
put the
saddled Maika
top
with the losers and said, "Here, you get a man advantage."
man. I think Hazuki should shoot.
Maybe.
Because I mean, look at this for a second. It's the three top wrestlers in the main faction of the company taking on the new trainer and her three disciples.
Yeah.
Hazuki should shoot.
Okay. Unimis Mori is taking on Fukigen Death, and Mei Seira basically was like, "I hope Unimon wins so we can have a rematch for the high speed belt," which will be
So this is the de facto
interesting.
number one contenders match, I'm guessing.
Yes, pretty much. We have Starlight Kid, Azumi, Mei Seira, and Suzuki versus Siri, Lady C, Rane Agami, and Kyoka Kutatsu. And then
Oh, okay, an actual match for God's Eye. That's fine.
yeah, I know, fantastic. Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Sayaka Kurara take on Sayaka Matani, Natsuko Tora, and Konami. I expect more shenanigans with Aya and not Aya, sorry, Karara and Saya, and they
Mhm.
might announce the tag partner for the Utsunomiya show afterwards.
So what is
That is
that
on the
match
21st.
technically?
It's on the 21st, I think.
No, what is it?
24.
Like, what kind of tag is it? Like, is it's
Oh,
Sakakura and Tam versus Sai and someone?
Saya and a partner of her choosing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, um, she might like fuck with them and pick Aya Sakura.
Then can't Ayasaka
Um,
just kick her in the head and be like, "Fuck you"?
no, probably not. We then have a future Stardom Championship match. Miyo Masaki takes on Hanako. We
Free
previewed this
will
a
is
little
an
bit.
illusion.
What?
Go on. I said free will is an illusion.
Oh,
Go on.
um, yeah, we previewed this last week, and I think I had decided on Kevin retaining, and then Hina beating her in Utsunomiya. So it's kind of
That
what
would
I'm
be
sticking to.
too ideal. I think that would be the correct course of action. Uh, which is
Well,
why
I think
Hanako.
Hanako is a more interesting one because she has more relationships at play with the challengers. But I think Hina, they might do Hina because they're not going to belt up Rina, and so you might as well have one of the sisters go over in a big win.
Yeah, but I think. Well, actually, yeah,
'Cause Hanan and
yeah.
like Wingory are obviously going to retain, so like that's a given. But I think Hina getting a win when
Well, no,
Rina
it
is
depends on
not.
if Ida is coming back for a limited
They've
return or not.
announced that, so I'd imagine
No,
she's
I know, but
fine.
I'm saying if her hand is still kind of fucked and they just
No,
need
but
her
it
to drop
says
the belt.
like it just says that due to injury, she'll be absent until the Osaka show. So I
Okay.
think she's fine.
Okay, then yeah, probably not. Yeah, so I think Miyu should win here. Geek out the geek and lose to Hina, former tag
Okay,
partner.
that is fair. Um,
Queen's
the
Quest feels like so long ago now. I feel like there's been
I know.
17 lifetimes in Stardom since then.
So um, Siri and Rana are wrestling in Diana. Are they on the 16th? Because it says they're missing that show on the schedule thingy. Oh, he means
Pretty sure
Shirakawa is
Diana's
injured. Gee,
Diana.
how many people are injured? Xena, Mina, um,
The good wrestlers in EXP.
Matoy is also injured.
Tamaki is good
Um,
too. I'm lying.
Saida is currently injured.
Mhm.
Amisori is injured. That's 5. Yeah, they've got a few injuries there. Saki Kashima, that's 6. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so that's that, and then they have no cards for this weekend. So we'll obviously review all that once it happens, and then preview the show in Sendai on the 22nd, and on the 24th, then they are running a pay-per-view in Utsunomiya, which we will preview. Um, so they did this thing where they basically put up the schedule for everybody for the month, which I think is really cool. And we're kind of like, hey, this is where wrestlers are either
Wait,
taking a
where did they
day off.
put that?
It's like a news post. Um,
Mm.
so it's like wrestlers either taking time off or missing a show. So it has like, for example, it's like Tekla. It's okay. Where is hers? Oh, yeah, so Tekla will be absent from 2nd of or 8th of February, 9th of February, 11th and 12th, and then is back. Then it says Rocca, due to participation in Seedling, will be missing from the Hiroshima and Osaka shows. So it's kind of I don't know if maybe they're like gonna start weaving people in part time to some of the house shows and like dropping some people, um, or if it's just like, hey, if they're not, if they're working somewhere else, then they will let you know ahead of time. But it also has the schedule for people like Tomoka Inaba, Hina, Kyoko Kotatsu. So like a lot of the part timers now. It has
Where
like
are you seeing this? This is fascinating.
it's literally a news post. It says up information on participation by other organizations. It's on their news section.
What day did it get released on?
Oh, I have no idea. It's might be on page 2. It's also at the
Okay.
bottom of the schedule every time. It's in like a hyperlink. But it is interesting because somebody like Waka, they just said, "Here, take some time off." Tekla, here, take some time off. Momo is missing the shows for some reason, and I wonder if this is them realizing, "Hey, we have a big roster and we don't need everybody on every single house show. So if we don't need
Yeah.
somebody, we're just not going to use them," which I think is really smart. I don't see a reason to rack up 100 matches a year if you're just going to be in tags. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
if this is something that they're going to do going forward, just giving people 2 or 3 shows off at a time, I'm kind of interested in that. I kind of like that as an idea.
As do I. I think like that's. I don't know, like you don't have to go all the way to CMLL, where the greatest world champion in North America doesn't get on their weekly show more
Yeah,
than once a month. Um, but you could do more. Like I think, frankly, and people are gonna dislike this take. I think that Stardom should probably operate a bit more like New Japan in the way that their touring works. Um, like I don't think every single wrestler needs to be on every single Road to show, every single house show,
yeah,
leading up to the big show. I don't think even every single wrestler needs to be on every single big show. I mean, now they only do one big show every other month, so now they do. But like, you get what I'm saying? Is that it's like you can kind of pick and
yeah. I
choose
I
where you
liked
want
when they
people
did this
more.
during the GP, where it was like, if you're not booked, like if you're not in a tournament match, we don't need you. Like we have rookies
Hmm.
here. The rookies can get that mileage on their bodies, like they're fine. Where, but you don't, they didn't need a Julia to work a tag on her nights off, for example. So she didn't. And I think that works really well for the GP and keeping those shows very like neat and tidy. So yeah, like why take everybody to Messe when you can take your crew of 20 and further your stories and just keep everybody else at home? Like I think it's very smart to do, and I think it's good for the wrestlers' bodies to protect them. And also, just if somebody's not in a story, you don't really need them. They do
Yeah, I was
enough
gonna say it's also
storytelling in the
probably
company.
just
There's no
good
point in
for
having extra
morale.
bodies. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if they're not getting paid, like if it's not a matter of
Yeah,
like
this isn't
if it's
AJW because AJW tried this at
yeah.
one point because
And
they
I was gonna
they
say
couldn't pay anybody and it
it's
didn't
like
work.
it's like WWE with the pay-per-view gimmick where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
we only have to pay 3 people or 4 people extra if we just do two pay-per-view matches. It's like, wait, but that what? That's not how wrestling works. You can't just
yeah,
say I'm gonna pay 6 people in total because I want to give you your bonus. It's like the fuck, asshole. So I'm not saying that, but like yeah, like if it's not like a issue of like, oh, they don't get paid if they're not on a weekend of shows, it probably helped for morale if, you know, Azumi got the weekend off where it's like, oh, I can just kind of hang
yeah.
out for a weekend because I'm not doing anything. That's fine.
Yeah, and, like, people like Momo and Tekla, it's like, "Alright, you can miss the
You're in a
Osaka
ten
shows, you're
person
fine."
faction. You
Yeah,
have nothing to add right now.
yeah, and, like, Waka's not doing anything, so they just kept her off a few shows, and it keeps these people a lot fresher for the
Mhm.
regular viewers. You're not seeing Waka butt comedy every single show, it's, like, a handful of times a month. It's a lot more palatable. So, yeah, I am interested to see if they keep that up, because the website and tech side of Stardom has gotten very lax, I will say. So if they keep this up, I think it'll be cool. But I'm not getting my hopes up because they could barely even keep that the upload schedule thing ticking. And obviously subtitles and English stuff has kind of fallen by the wayside a small bit. So you know, maybe they'll keep it, maybe they won't. Who knows? But it's very interesting nonetheless if they're going to start phasing people in and out of the house shows
Yeah, no, I think that would be. I think it's ideal to do that.
for sure. Um, And I think that's everything. There's nothing really from Stardom because, like, as I said, there's no cards for the shows this weekend. Obviously, we could guess at who's going to do what based on who's available, but I don't want to. So, um, we'll be back anyway to talk about it all next week. So it's going to be very interesting next week because Marigold is going to be on VOD. So I think we'll have to like scramble to watch that, and then
Ooh.
Stardom might also be VOD because it's Messe and
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be here for that.
oh yeah, you're you don't want to preview
That
the
sounds.
town tag.
Oh, but Nubla's the next week. Ooh,
Is it?
ooh.
When
I
is
have not been liking New Bloods
uh,
lately. Ooh. The funny thing is I've been saying, I'm gonna take some time off, and I just haven't. And
yeah,
I probably won't.
yeah.
Uh, but like, I don't know. I like having that exit plan because, yeah, these house shows.
You're getting burnt
There's a
out.
lot of
I
them.
understand.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired.
Yeah, I
My
get
neck
you.
sucks. I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's on you. You can tell me. I'll get a Marigold army person on, and we'll just talk about how great Ryoko is next week. It's fine.
Yeah, this is very random. And I don't know who runs it, but it just started today. A Daily Marigold account just followed me.
Oh, like
Yeah,
pictures from
on Twitter.
Marigold? Does
No,
that
it's like
there's a lot of it.
uh the attendance for the Nagoya show.
They
Um,
stealing my gimmick? How
uh,
fucking dare they?
the next show is on February 14th, and it will be uh a next day Wrestle Universe VOD.
Oh, that's good
Um,
actually. That's pretty cool that they know that.
yeah, and then like some like mostly retweets, saying my Sakurai celebrates day 50th
Right.
anniversary, just shit like that. And I was like, oh,
Okay. Fun.
because they followed me and liked my retweet of that one tweet that was very funny that we talked about.
Yeah, I totally
If
know
your
what you
parents,
mean.
if your parents were
Oh,
alive,
yeah. That's crazy. Dude, Shigeo went nuts with
dude,
that
he
one.
he just he just went for the throat and shit.
Yeah, that was mean.
Go off, King.
Anyway, there's no point in extending this. We're done. We talked about Stardom. It was a quieter week from their perspective, but they still progressed enough of their stories to keep people interested.
Oh wait, wait,
Um,
wait, 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 wait. You know what's one news bit we talk about last week? Uh,
Possibly.
Bea Priestley.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I forgot about that. So WWE did their round of releases, and as part of that, they released Isla Dawn, Elektra Lopez, Sonya Deville, and Bea Priestley. Now, Stardom has already quote tweeted Bea Priestley and been like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's been posting like clips of her winning the Stardom titles and stuff. So
She put
um,
or she said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Top Gaijin. Remember that
yeah.
name? Remember Top Guy?" And I was like,
So
"Yeah, I remember."
I think not enough people talked about Isla Dawn. I think she did a Stardom tour as well. So I think Rossi knows
Did
her.
she?
I think so. I feel like because was she not on the Tessa tour? She hates Tessa Blanchard. So I think she
How
was on the
how
tour
long
with
has
Tessa
Isla
Blanchard.
Dawn been wrestling?
Oh, a long time. She
Oh
was going
shit,
through dates NXT UK.
2013.
Yeah. So I think Isla
Wow. Yeah,
Dawn,
she did do a Stardom tour.
yeah, back in 2016. So I think there's a chance that we see
She was
Isla
in the
Dawn.
5 star?
Yeah. Courtney Stewart. She wrestled. Okay, this is a
Holy
fun
shit.
one. She wrestled Jungle Kiona, Tessa Blanchard, Kairi
She
Hojo, Momo
beat
Watanabe,
Jungle
and
King.
Chris Wolf in her tour. And then she never came back because she hates Tessa. But yeah, I think there's a chance Isla Dawn comes over. I think she could maybe make an appearance or two
S
in
Scotty
Marigold.
brought this up. I could see Mako picking her up. Um,
Possibly, yeah. Mako does love the WWE chicks. Also,
yeah,
but
especially
this is
the
for like
NXT UK people that she
Stardom
liked.
in America as well. I think you could see maybe because I remember
I
Cameron
don't think
Burnett got
I don't
injured
think the
or got
days line up, but I'm not for sure.
Isla. I think. Oh wait, no. Sonya was contract expired. The rest were released, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so
Okay.
was Isla a NXT wrestler? Like, did
Ye-
she have an NXT contract,
She
or
was
was she on the
main
main roster?
roster. Main roster.
Then yeah, yeah, that'll be
90
May.
days. Okay.
It'll be too far.
Yeah, because I remember last year
Because
Cameron Burnett left NXT and then she was
NXT
Sumi got her on the
NXT
American
has a
show.
30-day no compete. Main roster has
All
90.
right. Okay. That makes sense. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, either way, the big one is obviously B Priestley. Rossi loves B Priestley, so there's a chance he's
Yes.
going to make a play.
Utami also loves B Priestley.
Tommy does the B Priestley, but Stardom really likes B Priestley, and I think they have
Yes.
a lot more resources maybe
Usable
to throw
money.
her way,
Just
and
yeah.
visas as well. Like that's the big issue is getting a long term visa, which I don't know if Rossi can really do. Um,
I mean, it did for
so
Bose.
and she's married as well now to an American, I think. So
To no, a British guy. Pretty
oh, British
deadly.
guy. Oh, really?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, B Priestley, I think
I
will be
might
an
be thinking of
interesting one
Bobby
to watch.
Tyler.
You might be. I think Bobby Tyler's married to the pretty deadly guy. But anyway, the big conversation is B Priestley and what she might do and where she might factor in. I think she could be
Okay, also British.
all right. Okay.
She's also married to a British guy.
Okay. Um I think B regressed a lot in WWE. I think if you watch
Mm.
her matches from like SmackDown, her rare appearances, she was pretty poor. I think her NXT run was not very good. I was one of the higher, more sane people on B in Stardom, and even I didn't love her.
I
Um,
mean, I've
so
in like hindsight, I've come around on a lot of her work. I don't think she was great,
no,
but like I don't think she was as bad as I would often give her credit for.
Yeah.
um in
My thing
Stardom.
is I wouldn't mind her in Marigold, but Rossi will push her too much, and
Yes.
that will ruin it because I think she would jump the queue to, like, the white
She
belt
would
or something,
she would
and
at
she just
least be pushed as much as Bozilla. In a different
yeah,
way, obviously,
yeah.
but at least, like, that's the
And
bare
she's not
minimum.
that good. That's my only problem with her in Marigold. If she was coming to Marigold to, like, team with Nozaki and take pins, fine by me, like a tag run or 2, okay. But I know Rossi, and I know he would push her too much, and in a company that is already not utilizing its best talents to the best of its abilities, we do not need a Bea Priestley super push.
Oh, and never mind. I was thinking, oh yeah, didn't Indy Hartwell? She got released like
Yeah, I think she's
6 months ago
TNA
or
bound
something.
though. I think she
Yeah.
wants TNA. But I think Stardom maybe for B would be interesting. I think she could fit
Mm.
in pretty much anywhere with them, and I think she can play the heel that they want, and she can like cut promos and stuff. If they maybe wanted to just be like, hey, do you guys want Tekla? We'll take B.
That
That kind of
you know,
way where they could switch them in and out.
interesting. I think the most interesting way to introduce B back into Stardom would be to, and this is me fantasy booking here, but I think having her come in, join Hate, and that causes a rift between her and Momo, uh,
Oh yeah, maybe.
or between Hate and Momo. Like I think that is an interesting way to do it,
Yeah.
because I feel like B and Momo is like the one Stardom B match that like interests me.
Mm,
Uh, because I would like to see what, maybe a motivated, I mean, obviously a worse, but a motivated B versus Momo nowadays would look like. Uh,
yeah. I think Marigold, if they wanted to, could pop a number with like a one-off, um, like
I mean,
B
similarly, I
versus
think I
Tommy.
think B Utami would be a good
Yeah, like a
match. I mean,
one-off,
like
like
they
Cork and
have
main event
chemistry.
to get to draw and send her off. I think that would be fine too. But I do
Mm,
think Isla Dawn is somebody to keep an eye on. I think Rossi could bring her in because he knows her. I presume she's friendly with Viper, and he really likes Viper, so she might be like, "Hey, you book my friend." So
mm.
that's all that. We'll have to wait and see until May for B Priestley, and that's kind of when we'll probably see some reports
But
or some hints.
I didn't know that Blair Davenport was engaged in a heated feud with Naomi throughout the summer last year. And
Yeah,
by heated, I mean they
that was
wrestled
when
twice.
everybody yeah, that was when everybody turned on her because the matches were like shit. No, like,
Shocker.
I don't hate Naomi in the way a lot of people hate Naomi. I kinda like her sometimes, but those B matches were bad. So,
And look, I'm not in the business of defending B, but I will say she didn't really get much of a chance, did she? In this company, uh,
no, I don't
she
think
didn't
she
do
earned one
much.
either. So,
No, no.
BFAB
But
can
like,
get TV time, you can, if you're anyway decent, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
BFAB got better and earned it, so I think B could've. But anyway, that is that for this
it,
show.
yeah.
We will be back next week to discuss all of this shit from Marigold and Stardom, 'cause there's so much happening. Um, and with that, I will be back in 2 seconds. Okay, it is time
Natsupoi
to
was
close the show.
Natsupoi was in the 2016 Grand Prix, which is something that I just completely forgot.
Yeah, yeah. She's been around for a
Yeah,
while.
almost 10 years ago.
Um, yes. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Oh, Shine Forever, or no, not Marigold. Stardom Quest. Isha.
Yeah, yeah, we botched that. Anyway, bye. See you next
The
week.
G stands for Goto.
Oh yeah.